Why heartbreak hurts so much, and why it can change you. Introduction. Have you ever felt broken after the end of a relationship? As if your world collapsed overnight and you no longer recognized who you were. Maybe it felt like you were grieving a version of yourself that no longer exists. What if I told you that this pain, as overwhelming as it feels, is not meaningless? What if heartbreak is not just a loss, but also an invitation? Most of us see breakups as failures. But in reality, heartbreak exposes our deepest wounds and gives us a rare opportunity to rebuild ourselves. The problem is that we are taught to avoid pain. Yet real healing doesn't happen by avoiding pain. It begins by moving through it. This story is about transformation, about how emotional pain can become a doorway to clarity, strength, and deeper self-understanding. The biology and psychology of heartbreak. Let's be honest about something first. A breakup can completely destabilize you. And this isn't just emotional, it's biological. When we bond with someone we love, our brain releases chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. These chemicals create pleasure, attachment, and a powerful desire for closeness. They make love feel intoxicating. When the relationship ends, those chemicals disappear. The brain doesn't interpret this as sadness. It interprets it as withdrawal. This is why heartbreak feels unbearable. Neurologically, it resembles the withdrawal symptoms of addiction. One woman experienced this firsthand after a relationship she believed would lead to marriage. They had built a shared future. She had even moved in with him during a difficult period in her life. Then, without warning, she discovered he had been unfaithful. In the early hours of the morning, he came home. She was crying, shaking, overwhelmed. His response was cold. "You're being dramatic." The next day, she did something she had never done before. She looked at his phone. What she found shattered her. There were messages. Another woman. Another life. She froze. For hours, she couldn't move. And then the questions began. Is she more beautiful than me? More desirable? What did I do wrong? Beneath all of those questions was one familiar belief, one she had carried since childhood. I am not enough. Heartbreak as grief. Heartbreak is a form of grief, and grief is not a single emotion. It's a complex process involving the mind, body, and nervous system adapting to loss. This is why healing feels unpredictable. One day, you feel okay. The next day, you feel like you're back at the beginning. Many people interpret this as failure, but it isn't. Grief does not move in a straight line. It moves in waves. Shock may come first, a numb, disconnected state where reality doesn't fully register. This isn't weakness, it's the brain protecting you from overload. Denial often follows. Life continues on the surface while the truth slowly sinks in. Depression comes when the weight of the loss becomes undeniable. Energy drops, meaning feels distant. This stage is often feared, but it's also one of the most honest parts of grief. Anger may arise toward the other person, toward yourself, or toward life itself. Anger is pain that has found momentum. Bargaining brings thoughts like, if only I had said this, if only I had done that. It's the mind trying to regain control. Acceptance does not mean the pain disappears. It means the pain no longer controls your entire life. Grief is not linear because it is stored in the body. A song, a smell, a message, a memory. Suddenly the body remembers. This doesn't mean you're failing. It means healing happens in layers. Each wave becomes shorter, less intense, more manageable. The brain after a breakup. Brain scans show something striking. Recently heartbroken people show activity in the same brain regions as people withdrawing from drugs. In a very real sense, you are neurologically attached to your former partner. Thousands of neural pathways are dedicated to that person. They don't disappear overnight. The good news is this: the brain is plastic. It can change, old connections weaken, new ones form. But only if you stop reactivating the old ones. Every message, every social media check, every attempt to just see how they're doing. Each one reignites the neural circuit. No contact is not cruelty. It's neurobiology. Attachment styles and repeated pain. Most people believe breakups are about the other person. They rarely are. They are about unresolved emotional patterns. We unconsciously recreate the emotional experiences of childhood in our adult relationships. If those wounds are never healed, we repeat the same dynamics with different people. Attachment theory explains this clearly. By early childhood, we develop a primary attachment style that shapes how we love. There are three main styles. Secure attachment develops when caregivers are emotionally present and consistent. These adults are comfortable with intimacy and independence. Anxious attachment develops when love is inconsistent. These adults fear abandonment, seek reassurance, and often make relationships the center of their lives. Avoidant attachment develops when caregivers are emotionally distant, controlling, or emotionally unsafe. These adults suppress emotions, value independence, and withdraw when intimacy deepens. Understanding your attachment style doesn't label you, it explains you. The power of beliefs. There's a story about elephants in captivity. A baby elephant is tied to a small wooden stake with a rope. At first, the rope is strong enough to restrain it. The elephant tries to escape and fails. Eventually, it stops trying. Years later, the elephant is powerful enough to break the rope effortlessly. But it never does. Not because it can't, but because it believes it can't. This is learned helplessness. Humans are no different. The beliefs we formed in childhood continue to control us long after they stop being true. When feelings lie, feelings feel real. But they are not always truth. Intense romantic chemistry can feel like destiny, especially when someone idealizes you, overwhelms you with affection, and promises a future. Then suddenly, they pull away. You begin to chase the feeling you once had. You compromise yourself to regain it, and just as you prepare to walk away, they return with overwhelming affection again. This cycle creates emotional addiction. Intensity is mistaken for love, but stability feels unfamiliar, even boring, to a nervous system trained in chaos. Love, chemistry, and awareness. Love is not just emotion, it is a biological motivation system designed for bonding. Lust, romantic attraction, attachment, each driven by different neurochemicals. For years, this woman was drawn to emotionally unavailable partners. Healthy relationships felt dull. Intensity felt like love. The betrayal forced her to look inward. Patterns became visible, and awareness became the beginning of change. Final reflection. Here is the truth. No one completes you. No one can give you lasting safety, worth, or peace. Those must say yes inside you first. Thousands of people begin their healing journeys believing their pain is about someone else. They leave realizing it was always about their relationship with themselves. Healing does not mean closing your heart, it means learning to keep it open, even when it hurts. Choosing compassion over judgment, love over fear, softness over emotional armor, especially when pain knocks on the door.